session tomorrow on this, and so I don't intend to go into it in great detail, except to say that there is a growing recognition, both national governments and internationally, that sustained improvement in health status in Africa will depend on much better management practices. I think that this is something that they'll be elaborating on tomorrow. So the question is, what are the potential contributions of business schools? And let me just rattle off some of them, and again, I'm sure there'll be further discussion about now and tomorrow in different sessions. One is clearly to supply what I call the functional management, functional competencies. And that's management, things of that sort. And that's needed if you look at it at an institutional level, from the level of running a clinic up to running a hospital, which in many ways is one of the most complex businesses one could ever think of, to the running a ministry of health. The second contribution is in strategic thinking and planning. And I think that business schools and those training business schools can bring a particular approach that is evaluated. The third one is producing what I call drivers of change. People who are naturally, you call it fire in the belly, they have the tools and can think outside the box to redefine problems, look at fresh solutions. And fourth, to which I will be coming back at the end, is what I see the role of management schools, and this is particularly in developing economies, that they are a key part of what I call the innovation process. And in Africa, we interpret that as a role in raising the absorption capacity of African economies to absorb innovations. I'll give you some examples. So what advantages will they bring in these areas? Clearly, in terms of pedagogy, student-centered participatory learning, curriculum, flexibility both in adaptive curriculum and its content and its delivery, different types of programs schooling into different groups, distance education. They bring a multidisciplinary body of practice. You should be looking and searching for longer-term commitments, and you must be looking for investment in your own school. Frida mentioned this morning the binding constraint for staff development. I'll come back to that. It extends from systemic reasons. There's been a total underinvestment in higher education, particularly at the graduate level. PhDs training staff across a wide range of different areas they want to do. 3, be very selective in terms of your own resources and your targets of change, in terms of strategic planning, in terms of the innovation process. And finally, when you're looking at these engagements, look at the nature of the sector. Because while I mentioned health, linking up rather an African institution overseas or regionally, what actually sustains a partnership, in my own experience, is a shared